Hello, my book loving friends. It's TJ from TJ Smiles, and today I have a book review for you guys on Beautiful Darkness by Garcia and Margaret Stohl. Oh, there goes my phone. Hello, Erin. She texted me. Shout out to you, Erin. So, as y'all know, or if you may know, I've been talking about this quite a bit in past videos. I'm really trying to get into the castor world, so that's why I picked up Beautiful Darkness, and then Beautiful Creatures, and then Beautiful Darkness. And let me just say that Beautiful Darkness totally got me into the castor world. I am hooked on this world that Cammy and Margaret have created. So, this book follows Ethan and Lena. I always want to say Lena. It's Lena. Ethan and Lena, who just overcame this horrible night on Lena's 16th birthday when she had to have been chosen, but she wasn't chosen. Things went haywire. Ethan died. She brought him back to life with the help of Anna using the Book of Moons, which is a very powerful dark book you should never use, but they used it. And then because of that, the Book of Moons made a trade for Lena's uncle. Oh, what's his name? I'm the worst with names. I always blank on names. Mr. Ravenwood. They made a trade for his life for Ethan's life. But plot twist: Ethan's mom, who is up in heaven right about now, because she passed away when Ethan was younger. She ended up, before Mac and Ravenwood actually did die, putting him in an archlight, I believe the name was, which is just basically a ball which captures creatures of his kind, and they can only get out if someone summons them out, like does a chant and they come out. So everyone just assumes that he's dead, and in reality he's not. He's in this ball. So where do I go from there? This is such an interesting storyline. Eventually, as things go on, Lena just goes kind of haywire. She ends up breaking up with Ethan, and going off with her cousin. Oh, what's her name? So really, Ridley, her cousin Ridley, she is a very interesting character there. She is just bad to the bone, and she pulls him off along with this other really bad character. What's his name? It's right here at the last page. I'm sorry, guys. John Breed. John Breed is some type of hybrid creature. No one exactly knows what he is, but he is bad news. And he takes Lena to this place where he tells her that she will absolutely fit in. Lena's always felt like she's been left out of the castor world, of the real world. She's never felt like she fit in. This world, this area he wants to take her to, is a mix between the real world and the castor world, and they feel like they will absolutely belong there. And that's why he goes off with her and Ridley. Now, when Ethan finds out that she's left, she freaks out because he knows this is not good news. So he brings along Link and Olivia, which is a librarian in training, only she's not a librarian. She's a secret castor librarian, and she is not allowed to get involved, but she does, and this ends up causing her job. But that's okay, because eventually along the way, her and Ethan, as Ethan's trying to save his girlfriend, they don't hook up, but you can tell feelings are starting to be developed between the two, especially her. She really has feelings for Ethan. She really cares about him. But obviously Ethan's still in love with Lena, and he don't want to give that up, and he's trying so hard to fight and get his girl back. So it's just a complicated relationship between the two. And on top of that, Ethan's always believed that Ridley, honestly, had a soft spot for Link, and Link is just, heartbroken from what Ridley did to him. Ridley brought him under her spell and like seduced him, and it wasn't good. But eventually, along the lines, something happens and Ridley loses her powers. She is a mortal now, and I feel like that's definitely going to bring Ridley and Link together, and I totally ship it. I ship it all the way. Let's go. Ridley and Link, OTP. Another odd ship I had crazily throughout this book was Olivia and Ethan. Maybe because Olivia reminds me of me quite a bit. That could be part of the reason. But I honestly ship them so hard. I've just never been a fan of Lena that much. I don't know. She just has never clicked with me as much as Olivia did. And Olivia was so heavily influential in this book. Unlike Lena, who you didn't see for most of the book. So I don't know. I feel like maybe that's why. I don't know. I'll make my decision on if I want him to be with Lena or Olivia. Probably in the next book. Basically, so I said that Lena's off with John Braid, and then Ridley comes back, she ends up losing her powers, and she ends up helping, Olivia, Link, and Ethan through the tunnels of the castor world to find Lena and save her from Taunt and all that. But when they get there to the place, they realize they can't go, they have them basically trapped, they're going to die. And then in comes Mr. Ravenwood, Lena's uncle, and he kind of just helps them along. And the next thing you know, Lena's like aunts are coming in, and Emma's coming in, and they have a squad, and squad's gonna fight this, and they're gonna get her back. But when they get there, they realize that Lena's birth mother is there, and she's bad news, as well as I believe it's her father or her uncle. And he is the darkest caster, darkest everything, most powerful person in this world, and he's there also, and he is also against them. On top of John Braid being against them and all this nonsense, it was just a very intriguing plot line. I loved being able to know the caster world a lot more. I felt like, oh my gosh, I loved it. I loved how she described it. I loved how it was just like never ending difference and things. And I don't know, I just really honestly enjoyed this book. It was a great read. I read the last 200 pages in like 2 hours, so it was just definitely a fast read if you have time to sit down and read, because it definitely is a chunk of a book. It's just over 500 pages. So it's definitely a chunk of a book, but if you chunk out your time and you're dedicated to it and you love the plot line, you can get through it in a week or less than a week. I give this a 4 out of 5 stars, mainly because, not a 5 out of 5 stars, just because I felt like it's hard to follow at times, especially the last page. The last page was a cliffhanger to set you up for the next book, which is Beautiful Chaos, but I just didn't understand it, and there was different aspects of the storyline I didn't understand, and maybe it'll be cleared up in the next book, or maybe I just didn't read into it right. I don't know, but that's just why I gave 4 out of 5 stars. But if it didn't have those confusing aspects at time, and I understand some books are supposed to be confusing to leave you hanging and help the series move along, but I just feel like that was a downfall for me reading this book. So yes, that was my book review, and I never really review the book. I kind of always like summarize it and say whether I like it or not. That's just how I do my reviews. I'm sorry, guys. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys! It's a book, it's a book, it's a book.